Well, hello there guys. I'm going to tell you another story today, and it's been a classic tale when I was in college, about a boy and a girl. I know. Classic tale, stereotypical, and here's another one. But I want to preference this though, with that if an Asian woman ever liked me, that she's going to be a cosplayer. I know it seems very weird, random, doesn't really make sense. It's almost nonsensical to even have that thought with no, prior interaction at all, right? But my life is like playing Fallout New Vegas with the Wild Away Slam perk, if that makes sense. That's just kind of an easy way to sum my life up. It's just weird, random shit, right? And so the class I was taking was a kind of like a computer comprehension class, if that makes sense. And it was more specific about the Microsoft Office 365, right? And like the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and the two other ones that also have, I forget the names of, they're kind of like ones I never heard of before, but they're used for business and shit, right? So, and it's a fucking painful class, right? It's a very painful class. So, the class itself is like rectangle, right? So the longest side of the rectangle is the front. The bottom right, you have the door. The bottom middle where I sat, and then the left top is where she sat, right, with her friend. So this was the second to the last day until the class is over, because I was excited, I'll be honest with you. But this is also a morning class, and so as they're in class, sitting and kind of, in that kind of morning fog, if you will, right? And so she walks in and she's dressed a little different, right? And so she sits down her friend, and when she walks by, I acknowledge that she's dressed a little different, but I didn't like make any weird like face about it. I just didn't give a fuck. I just don't care, right? I've been told I have a very good poker face, if you will, right? So I just don't give a shit. It's like, it's the fucking morning. So and like I said, she sat down to a friend, and they like giggle and laugh, because it's like, I don't know why, because it's actually very out of character, because they've never done that, but, I digress. So, the class ended, right? And I get to the door, walk out about 20 feet, and she comes bolting out, right? And she comes up to me and stops me and asks me that, do I want to go to an esports event, right? That's at the school. And no, right? Because, I'm not like a plan person. I like plans, or like knowing things ahead of time, if that makes sense. It's not like necessarily having plans, it's like knowing something ahead of time, if that makes sense, right? And I like, no, because, I'm like, I kind of want to go home, The morning class kind of sucks. I prefer it to a night class, but it's a morning class. It's not the best class you have, right? So, and she does this while wearing a cosplay of 02 from the franxx, right? So you already can imagine this mental image, how fucking weird it is, because here you have this long black hair, pear-shaped, short, like Filipino looking girl, me being 6 foot, white guy, essentially. And it's just like, said Asian person is wearing a cosplay of 02. It was a very weird thing, and kind of walked, and we walked for like together for like about like a minute in silence. I'm okay with that. I don't find that awkward, but I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I wanted to ask, I'm like, were you asking me this because you're being nice, or because you have an interest in me, kind of thing, right? To be fair, honestly, I knew it's not because she's being fucking nice, because she didn't ask anyone else, and there's no reason, mind you, for her to think that I was interested in esports or video games or even anime, mind you, right? If you ever saw me out in the wild, you'd be very surprised that I play video games, and that, I'm like a very computerish person, right? Where I live on the internet, if you will, not necessarily terminal, kind of, but it was like, it was the most bizarre scenario, right? And it's just like, I can just contemplate that, and it's like, I just thought to myself as well, I was like, what the fuck in my life led me for this woman to ask me out, essentially, while cosplay as 02 from the franxx. Like, I don't understand. Like, you understand the the events that happen, but you don't understand how they're like kind of connected. It's kind of like if you're fishing on a lake and you catch a fish, right? You understand that, the bait, hook, but then guess what though? A great white shark eats your fucking fish, and then a T-Rex comes out of the forest, takes the shark, eats it, goes to a spaceship and flies to fucking Mars. You understand the events, you understand what happened, but you don't understand how they're connected, right? It's kind of like that. Like, just, it's like the opposite of the butterfly effect, if that makes sense, right? Where it's like they're connected, but not really. It's like they're almost like coincidence of different things that happened, more or less, I guess. I'm not sure there's a word for it, probably is, but yeah. So that was my time being asked out by an Asian woman who is cosplaying, and I knew it because I thought this for about 2 years. Like, if an Asian woman ever liked me, she's gonna be a cosplayer. And I was fucking right. Like I said, my life had the Wild Wasteland perk.